During the Egghead arc, as the Heart and Kid pirates were being decimated, the Straw Hat pirates were stacking up W's. But undoubtedly the crew that benefited the most during the Egghead arc were the Blackbeard pirates. With Blackbeard collecting lost poneglyph rubbing on Winter Island, the remaining Blackbeard pirates defending Hachinoso Island from Garp and Sword, Katarina Devon and Van Augur completed their mission by coming into contact with Saturn, and Van Augur and Kuzan completed their mission by kidnapping Pudding. Blackbeard is closer to completing his goal of conquering the world than most people realize, and very soon, Marshal D. Teach will be the most dangerous pirate to ever sail the seas, even surpassing his predecessor, Rox D. Zebek. Whilst we the viewer will be following the Straw Hat's adventure during the Elbaf Arc, the Blackbeard pirates will be making massive power plays behind the scenes. In this video, I am going to outline the 3 critical steps to Blackbeard's master plan that will place him at the top of the pirate world in the very near future, and explain why by the end of the Elbaf Arc, Blackbeard will do what no other person has done in over 800 years. No more waiting, let's get started. Step 1. Fishman Island. Now there are 3 steps to Blackbeard's master plan, but it all starts at Fishman Island. Thanks to Karibo, Blackbeard now knows that Shirahoshi is the ancient weapon Poseidon, making her a perfect target for Blackbeard, and Blackbeard himself has all of the tools needed to capture her. We know that Shiryu's invisibility fruit can turn the user invisible, and more importantly, it can turn other people and objects invisible as well. We know that the warp fruit can teleport the user and anyone they touch to a different location, and we also know that Karibo's swamp fruit allows him to store objects and even people within his body. Now let's bring all of that together. Imagine the team of Van Augur, Shiryu, and Karibo went to Fishman Island. Van Augur would be able to warp Shiryu and Karibo right into the Ryugu Palace, and they would be completely invisible thanks to Shiryu's invisibility fruit. Whilst undetected, Karibo would be able to capture Shirahoshi with his swamp fruit. This would be something Oda foreshadowed over a decade ago during the Fishman Island arc. They would then be able to teleport with the Mermaid Princess in tow, and you might be thinking a Shirahoshi would never work for Blackbeard, so this is pointless, right? And that is where you would be wrong. We have already seen that Lafitte has the ability to hypnotize people. He would easily be able to hypnotize Shirahoshi to be fully subservient to Blackbeard. Not only would Blackbeard have the ancient weapon Poseidon at his disposal, but she would be fully obedient to Blackbeard, giving Blackbeard control over the Sea Kings through the use of Shirahoshi, giving him his first ancient weapon. That would be step 1 of Blackbeard's master plan, complete. Step 2, Wano. Then we get to step 2 of Blackbeard's master plan. For that, he would head to the country of Wano to acquire the ancient weapon Pluton. Thanks to Karibo, Blackbeard would also know that the ancient weapon Pluton is located within Wano. We've already seen that with Kaido out of the picture, people are not afraid to enter Wano. Admiral Greenbull is a great example. Blackbeard would be no exception. The strongest people guarding Wano are Yamato and the remaining Red Scabbards. Yamato is pretty strong, but this isn't exactly the A-team. The whole reason the Scabbards did not ask for the Straw Hat's help when fighting Greenbull was to show that they were strong enough to protect Wano, and they failed miserably. With Blackbeard entering Wano, this is where they would be tested again. It is also not a coincidence that we have been following Yamato's journey during the cover stories. I believe that her cover story will end with either her seeing the Blackbeard pirates arriving at Wano, or her leaving Wano shortly before the Blackbeard pirates arrive. Even if they had Yamato in their corner, the Scabbards are not enough to protect Wano, especially from Blackbeard and his crew. Blackbeard and his crew would easily be able to beat down the Scabbards, and then begin their search for Pluton. Even though Pluton is hidden deep within Wano's borders and underwater, finding Pluton is going to be easy for Blackbeard. That is where Avalo Pizarro becomes important, or at least his Devil Fruit. With the Island Fruit, Avalo Pizarro can merge with an island. By doing that, he can see everything that is happening on the island, and even see within the island itself. He was able to sense Kobe's escape at Hachinoso Island, and knew exactly where Kobe and the other hostages were at all times. By combining with the country of Wano, he would be able to sense exactly where the ancient weapon Pluton is, even though it is deep within Wano itself. With this knowledge, Blackbeard would destroy the borders of Wano, liberating the ancient weapon after being sealed away for 800 years. Even though Pluton is underwater, Shirahoshi would be able to command the Sea Kings to bring Pluton up to the surface for Blackbeard to use. This theory is supported by the fact that Blackbeard has never had a traditional ship. Every time we see him sailing, he travels using large logs. This was even brought up by one of his crewmates before the time skip. And just like that, Blackbeard would not only have Poseidon, but also the ancient weapon Pluton in his possession. That would be step 2 of Blackbeard's master plan, completed. I also wanted to add that with Blackbeard acquiring Pluton and defeating the Scabbards, that could lead to Yamato leaving Wano. Odin failed to protect Wano from outside threats, and Yamato would feel the same, giving her a reason to leave Wano sooner than anticipated, in search of the Straw Hats to join their crew, and warn them about Blackbeard. Step 3. The Holy Land. Then there is step 3 of Blackbeard's master plan. Alright, so before I continue, this was the part of the video where I thought Katarina could masquerade as Saturn and infiltrate the Holy Land, eventually finding the ancient weapon Uranus. But Imo, being the true villain of One Piece, ruined my and many other people's theories by taking Saturn out of the story permanently, so I had to redo this part of the video with a different theory. Now that Blackbeard has Garp and Pudding as hostages, this opens up a lot of options for him. Blackbeard could make Pudding look into Garp's memories. This would not only tell Blackbeard everything that happened during the God Valley incident 38 years ago, but it could also reveal who the man marked by flames is, and his whereabouts. Despite being erased from history by the world government, Blackbeard does know some things about Zebek, since we know that his ship was named the Saber of Zebek, and he made his base of operations on Pirate Island, just like Zebek. But it goes much deeper than that. Katarina Devon would be able to transform into Garp with her Devil Fruit, and with Pudding's fruit, she would have all of Garp's memories, making her the perfect double agent to impersonate Garp. And if Blackbeard doesn't want to go in that direction, he could always trade Garp over to Cross Guild. Or if Oda wants to get really crazy, Blackbeard could use Garp as bait to draw Luffy in, and steal his poneglyph rubbings. Even though Blackbeard can't have Katarina masquerade as Saturn and infiltrate the Holy Land anymore, that doesn't mean he gave up on his plans for the Holy Land. In chapter 1126, we see that Blackbeard has Lafitte monitoring the events surrounding the Holy Land, and he already has a plan in mind. We don't know what Blackbeard's plan is for the Holy Land, but he is most likely going to steal the treasure hidden in Marijois. This is important because Doflamingo stated that there is a treasure located in Marijois. The mere knowledge of this treasure was enough to allow Doflamingo to pressure the world government into allowing the manipulation of the newspapers during the Dressrosa arc. Oda once stated that Blackbeard's hobby is studying history, and throughout the story, we have seen that Blackbeard knows a lot of things that most people do not. He knows about Roxy Zebek, despite the fact that Rox and his exploits were erased from history by the world government. He also knows about the cycle of Devil Fruits, as he acquired Whitebeard's Quake Fruit and Thatch's Darkness Fruit. And he is the only character in the series who we have seen eat multiple Devil Fruits. With all of that being said, it is not a stretch for Blackbeard to know about the hidden treasure of Marijois, or at least know that there is a treasure located there. Now I believe that the treasure of Marijois is the ancient weapon Uranus. Given what Emu did to the kingdom of Lulusia, that is pretty likely. With all of the Devil Fruits at Blackbeard's disposal, it is possible that he and his crew could steal the hidden treasure of Marijois, even with Emu and the 5 elders present. In theory, I will say that again for the people who don't listen very well, in theory, Avalo Pizarro would be able to merge with the Red Line itself, and use the Island Fruit to survey the Holy Land. He would then be able to find the ancient weapon Uranus. Now there are 2 ways this could play out. Blackbeard and his crew could warp up to the Holy Land and duke it out with Emu and the 5 elders, but that is not really Blackbeard's style, since Blackbeard is more of an underhanded fighter, and he only fights when he has the advantage. The more likely scenario is that Blackbeard and his crew could cause a distraction, possibly with the use of Pluton and Poseidon, giving Avalo Pizarro enough time to manipulate the terrain and essentially bring Uranus to Blackbeard. From there, the Blackbeard pirates could warp away with the ancient weapon in tow, giving Blackbeard control over all of the ancient weapons. Even with Blackbeard causing trouble nearby, the 5 elders would not bother fighting with Blackbeard. They would most likely send the God's Knights to fight the Blackbeard pirates instead. That would be step 3 of Blackbeard's master plan complete. Is this plan perfect? No, but we do know that Blackbeard has something cooked up, and time will tell what his plans are. With all 3 of the ancient weapons at his disposal, Blackbeard would very likely be the first person to have all 3 ancient weapons at his disposal in over 800 years. This would easily make Blackbeard the most dangerous pirate currently sailing the seas, and maybe even the most dangerous pirate of all time, surpassing even his predecessor, Rox D. Zebek, making Blackbeard closer to his and Zebek's goal of conquering the world. This is just speculation for now, but I believe Oda is setting the stage for this to be Blackbeard's next moves. Step 1 and 2 of Blackbeard's plan are solid, but step 3 is more theory crafting and speculation. Tell me what you guys think. Will Blackbeard make some of these moves, or do you think Oda will go in a different direction? I have given my thoughts, but you can let me know yours in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, or a dislike if you didn't, and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.